Hello, everyone. Welcome. But but wait, there's another character. Who is this gigantic dragon? Ah, there we go. We have time. Huzzah. Do I spy a Rachel there in chat? We have so much time, Solus. Well, you can thank the talented Combi and Rachel. Ah, I thought I saw a Rachel there. It goes good. It goes well. We're excited to start a new show. Of course, Rachel, thank you for your brilliant artwork. Hello, Hogeka. Oh, I'm sorry that you're waiting, my friend. Every Monday and Thursday. Every Monday and Thursday. But you're here now, we're here now. It's all good. We're together as one. We have a new guest on tonight, very exciting. He may or may not be in the chat. Super Was King is here as ever, our loyal friend. Thank you, Mythomatic, for the host, my friend. Sorry, Rachel. Sorry, I blame James for this, Rachel. I entirely blame James. Everyone agrees. He was going to get it done earlier, and then, well, he ran away from the fight, and who is it? Well, Solus, you're gonna have to find out soon, my friend. I, it's okay, Hogeka. That's right, Rachel. I told him. I told him, turn around and stand and fight and tell Rachel, but you know what he's like. This work is partly by Combi, the incredible artist whose link you can find downstairs, and Nick Series42, the incredible colorist. Is that the right term? Illustrator? That sounds better. Oh, you never know, Solus. You don't know what I've got in store. All I can say is I've got a couple of timpani with me and a few pan flutes. Maybe a lute or two. Perhaps a harpsichord. Hogeka, we stream for 3 hours, from 9 p.m. GMT to 12 p.m. GMT, every Monday and every Thursday. See, there you go, Rich. You've already got another offer for a commission. That's what we want. Ah, that's okay, Hogeka. We're all getting older, but D&D keeps us young. Time is a tricky thing, Rachel. I'm sure you should one day set up your business. 2 minutes. One minute and counting until the adventure begins. Get hyped. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Our new show is here today. I am Will, not your GM, but your host. because in fact we have a new JM for tonight, and we have a new guest player. Very exciting. So James, why don't you take over
Okay.
the show?
I have staged a coup. Will is currently being held at gunpoint, and I am in charge.
It's true.
Welcome, one and all, to the Isle of Anesterion campaign. The year is 5210 AC, AC being after creation. It's the 17th of January, and far to the northwest of the Kingdom of Theraf, ruled over by Grand Archmage Meriden, in the vast expanse of the World's Edge Ocean, sits the Isle of Anesterion. Essentially, a little bit of brief history in this universe. The world, as it stands, after 5,000 odd years of horrible, horrible strife, one massive war between two gods and their followers. The world, as it stands, as the known world, one big continent known as Theraf, ruled over by Grand Archmage Meriden. All the races are there, pretty much. Anything you think of, dragonkin, dwarves, elves, all of them living vaguely peacefully together in one unified empire. About a year before the events of this campaign, a trading vessel got lost in the ocean to the northwest of this continent, and they saw on the horizon an island. Before that, it was completely unknown that it was there, and they reported it back. And all of a sudden, there was a lot of interest in from the lords and rulers of the land in this island, and bribery and kind of release from prison was offered to anyone who would go there and adventure and settle and kind of just explore the island. No one really knows why, but it's a thing that's happened. So, our players, would you all like to introduce yourselves? Will, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, my name is Will, and I am playing Finbar, the human bard. And I am a incredibly attractive man and talented at the same time. I carry several instruments upon me, including a drum, a pan flute, a panpipes, and a lute. And I intend to find adventure and write some epic poetry about whatever adventures I can find on the Isles of Anesterion.
Harkin, Mr. Patrick Harkin, our celebrity guest. Tell us about Shenda.
I think both celebrity and guest in that sentence are in sarcastic quote marks, but whatever. I'm playing Shendar, the voice of heaven, who is a dragonborn sorcerer. He is a dragon ancestry sorcerer, so he's doubled the dragon for the same price. He is very gassied up wherever he goes. He always wears the finest robes. He wears makeup, which is unusual for a dragonborn. He's brass, by the way. Sorry, bronze. He's a metal. And he is accompanied wherever he goes by 3 obsequious kobolds. And he is going to set up a religion. He is the prophet of the Church of Anaximander, the Storm Dragon, which is not a very popular faith among the people of Theraf, and especially the Dragonborn. And so he has fled religious persecution and is come to set up a temple and practice his religion in quote-unquote peace.
Excellent. And Joshua, who are you playing?
I am playing Darius, the Elven Ranger. I'm basically going there because kind of sick of overcrowding back home. I like the adventure, the big open sprawling space. But I've also got a stake when it comes to building the first tavern of the Isle, which I hope will become a sort of a hub for would-be adventurers coming to seek out their fortune. I've actually done a bit of tavern work in the past, but I do odd jobs here and there, and mainly I'm here to seek my fortune and establish a small elven colony, maybe to bring my family over.
Excellent. So, obviously, I've got a lot of history back written, but that will be uncovered as things happen and as it comes into relevance in the show. So, if you gentlemen will look at the map, you can see that you're on a ship. This is not actually the ship you're on. So as you left the port of Gerst, where you set sail from, you were one of the first ships to leave. A kind of a group of maybe 6 vessels all left at roughly the same time. You were on the ship of Magister Salinar, essentially the Count of Gerst, I guess is what it would be. But his title is Magister. This is the smaller ship, the Intrepid, where all of the raw materials, a surprisingly small amount of raw materials, are being held. So the journey itself is about 3 to 4 weeks. There's a lot of kind of adverse weather, but nothing too bad. Occasionally maybe you'll be called down to the hold to pump bilge water out, or you'll be called up into the rigging to help out, whatever you can do. So in those 4 weeks, other than general ship things, what do you do? Harkin, why don't you tell us?
Yeah, Shenda is kind of pampered. He's not been on a boat before, so the first few days of the journey were pretty rough for him. It's kind of impressive that a bronze dragon can turn green, but he managed it. So he was, spending a fair amount of time sort of over the railing. As he got better, he at one point, when the ship was about to be beset by a storm, came out and started talking in Draconic to it, and I don't know if anyone else talks Draconic.
None of the other player characters speak Draconic to the best of my knowledge.
But it's something weird that they would have seen. He was apparently speaking to this storm front.
What does Draconic sound like?
I believe it's described as a very gruff, guttural language. I mean, my physical PHP.
Ignore the PHP. Give us your best impression.
Fuck the PHP, right. Fuck everything. Stream's over, right.
D&D 60 now. It's mine. I've written it. Cool.
The coup is getting really meta. Just cooing everywhere. Cooing all over the place. It sounds kind of raspy and snarly. I mean, it sounds like a slightly more organized version of what you'd think a dragon sounds like. The sort of, but a bit more. I don't have a dragon's mouth. I don't have to simulate it. But you can speak common.
You do? Oh my god, you'll be at disadvantage for this entire session. Okay.
I felt very offended. I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was offensive.
Very rude. Will, what is Finbar doing while he's on this ship?
I'm composing some epic poetry and reciting some to any sailors who would listen. We're actually currently singing a round of my newest song, which is... What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. And they're loving it. It's a big hit.
Devour his flesh.
Can you roll me a performance, please?
Oh. I certainly can.
And roll me an advantage for that. Actually, just roll it normally, but take yourself a mark that you've got inspiration for that singing.
Oh. Aha. What skills do I have? Performance. That's a 15.
Okay, the rest of the people, kind of, you're sitting there on the edge of like a hammock, kind of banging along on your drum. People kind of get involved. People catch on to the words. They're pretty excited about this.
What can I say?
Mark that you have 1 point of favor.
I will. I'll note that down in my personal notes.
While on the topic of that, there's 2 extra stats that I'm introducing: fame and favor. Favor are points you can use when you're persuading people, or when you want something out of someone who you've done something good for in the past. And fame is basically, it's just a number I'm going to use to keep track of the different players that come and go and how important the events they are, so I can kind of tailor how the NPCs interact with them. So. Not Kai. That's a different campaign entirely. I don't know what's going to happen eventually.
Suddenly, Kai appears.
And Molduck blows the ship out of the unit.
Hello.
Kai and Molduck just appear and just like, oh.
I love a good sing-along.
What's Darius doing on this journey?
When Darius spies the storm approaching, he takes out a small carved idol. It's essentially a wood. It's made of wood, camphor wood, for any of you who are interested. I'm sure you all were. And it's basically a large blossoming petaled flower with 4 petals. Each one has a sigil, a different sigil on them, and they're surrounding an unadorned blank depiction of a face. Mm-hmm. And I set it down on a sort of in a quieter spot, and I begin to pray to James. You're going to have to help me with pronunciation.
Okay, which
Kayla?
Kayla. No, not
so
all will worship.
Absolutely not. Yes, Kayla, the god of the sky,
and the creatures that dwell within it. What's the wooden idol look like? What's it in the shape of?
wooden idol that's a petal.
Ah,
the
yes.
blasphemy
Yeah,
cloud,
no, I know the one you mean.
the one I just described.
No, that's all right. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
I was reading through the gods as you were doing it in case you asked
Absolutely
questions.
fine. Yes.
No, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't even know I was
Kyla,
GMing until like 5 minutes ago.
Oh God. Yeah. So I pray. I say a small prayer, saying, "Blessings
Okay.
of Kyla upon this ship and this voyage, and may you travel with us and guard us from."
Death.
Yes, essentially.
Okay.
Guard us from more time.
So, have you guys on the ship? Do you guys meet? There's about 100
Yes.
people on this vessel. So
It's going to be a long journey if we're going between continental bodies, so I imagine it's kind of unavoidable. Also, you said there's no like private cabins or whatever, so it's not like we could.
There's
Yeah.
one, and it's not too there.
It's not like Shendak would hold himself apart from you as he rightfully should,
I mean, as
because he is your
prophets.
better. You know, just saying. It's just.
I make
No,
a
no.
point to meet people because I want to meet famous people.
Yeah.
So, who do you meet first?
I imagine I'd start with the quiet one, the one performing odd things in the corner with
Okay.
idols.
You approach and you see a man and
Absolutely.
quite a vicious-looking dog. Yeah. Josh, would you like to describe yourself? Oh, sorry, Darius, would you like to describe yourself and your mastiff?
I entirely forgot I had a dog.
Yeah, I knew you had, so that's why I dropped that one in there.
Yes, thank you. I'm currently sat cross-legged in a corner, with an idol and just some small candles to sort of make it a small shrine area. I'm not particularly. It's more. I'm staying out of the foot traffic. I'm not hiding
Yeah,
away
yeah.
secludedly chanting satanic
You
stuff.
can't hide. This is a very busy ship.
Yes, but it's clear that I'm not shunning away from everyone. I'm quite open. I have quite sort of messy, matted, dark hair, plenty of tattoos and war paint, especially a massive amount of tattoos down my left arm, which all seem to be written in Elvish. And I've got a longbow propped up next to me, and a axe which I'm carrying. And my mastiff is entirely black, and sort of with flecks of grey in his fur, and he's very, very alert. Looks not hostile, but just like very, very curious about everything.
Yeah.
But he's not straying from my side.
So, Finbar, what do you do?
I stroll up to this man and introduce myself. I say, "Hello there."
Currently Darius is staring off at a rather flamboyant-looking dragonkin that he's never met a dragonkin before, so he's very much sort of enraptured.
Yes, strange creature to be sure. No doubt, many tales to be written there.
Sorry?
What? What?
Oh, yeah. I was just... I mean, do they all wear makeup? And just seems a little bit odd.
I know not of their ways, but soon I will learn of them and write of them and sing of them. The name's Finbar. You may have heard of me.
Would you have heard of Finbar, Darius? He's
Finbar's...
not like famous, but people you may have. He's been around.
Yeah,
a bit.
no. Darius recognizes the name, and he's sort of trying to... And then he... Didn't you play at my tavern once?
Which was it?
The four-leaf flower?
Ah, yes, the one of the busty maidens. I remember it well.
Yes, my sister's doing fantastically. Thank you very much for asking.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember she was in good spirits when last we met.
Will, did Finbar sleep with Darius's sister?
Almost certainly.
Oh dear.
Darius, would your sister have confided this to you?
You mammals.
No.
She won't have confided it to me, but I'm going to say that she said that she was very fond of him, very talented, had a way with words, or
And hands.
actually she might have said a way with his tongue. I can't remember the quite phrase, but yes, no. It was
Is he
yes,
a
no,
cunning linguist?
Exactly.
Most certainly.
Yeah. So I know that they were very, very friendly, and she was somewhat upset that he left. But then she found someone much more interesting and fantastic and good-looking.
That's
might I add.
vicious rumour.
I'm going to have to veto that, Josh. It's ridiculous.
How could anyone be
Your
more
sister's
fantastic?
never going to remember. Yeah, no. I say yes. Well, you certainly left quite an impression on her.
And her on me. Quite literally. Anyway.
I was going to say, she hits incredibly hard.
Anyway, what brings
I
you
say,
to
so,
this ship?
It's funny you should mention that. I'm actually looking to establish a new tavern. The
Ah,
first tavern.
what happened to the last one?
Well, actually, my sister's taking over the state of affairs there.
Ah, I see.
But I'm sure if you're ever in the area, you are more than welcome at bed. I give him a slightly cheeky wink. I know my sister's a bit of a sultry wench.
Wow. I say, well, I see. Well, I myself have come to write some new works and see what adventures I can find to make my name out here.
I nod and say, maybe one day you'll grace my tavern with some of your fine work.
I'm sure I will. I wish to speak with Lee Dragonborn. Would you care to join me?
Yes. Hello.
I look slightly unnerved. It's a very large and surprisingly unaggressive looking creature, actually, with all the flamboyance. But still, I
You'd
would
also see,
most
I assume,
certainly.
the 3 kobolds
I don't know what
hiding.
kobold is.
Everywhere.
A
Oh, everywhere
kobold,
they are.
Google image search it.
Yes, Shendar
Maybe
probably
the
looms
GM could
over you
describe
all.
what it is.
I was going to let you search it. I'll describe it in a minute. Harkin, continue.
Yeah, Shendar is impressively large. Just by dint of being a dragonborn, they average at about 7 feet tall. You wouldn't have thought him to be a warrior, both by his garb and his attire. Honestly, you're not quite sure how you describe a fat lizard, but he's definitely fleshy and undefined under there. He's definitely sort of used. Yeah, he's used to the comforts. Something that definitely stands out is behind his head is this array, sort of sticking out from his shoulders, of metallic lightning bolts, sort of fanning out behind his head like a halo, which he sort of is occasionally reaching up to polish. Hello.
Greetings there, Dragonborn.
And how does the good day find you? He says in very flamboyant, expressive gestures.
It finds me almost as fabulous as it finds you, it would seem.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Is this a mammalian thing?
No doubt. My name is Finbar. You might have heard of me. Thank you for following, Frashgirl.
Yeah. What? By the way, James, you say we've got this fame and favor thing.
Yes.
What do we? I'm assuming we start at 0.
Yep. Everything starts at 0. Favor is usually actually specific to people. The favor that I've given will be assigned to someone at a point where I deem it suitable, because he's got a little bit of favor with a lot of people. So I'll let him condense it into one person later.
So,
You're
are we assumed to have heard of each other, or not?
Have you heard of him? He's not a very famous bard, but he's been around. He's played in a lot of taverns. He's written a few songs that you might have heard.
Yeah,
But it's
sure,
entirely up
maybe.
to you.
You're that. You're that Dinbar.
Finbar.
No, Tinfa.
Almost.
Steve.
That's my brother. My name
Sorry,
is
although-
Finbar.
Fin. I'm sorry, I don't have lips like you do, so some of the
No,
sounds
mine
are
are
difficult.
rather fine and full.
Fin. Okay. Yes.
You can
yes.
call me Finn.
Hello. Fin. Like a fish. Okay, good. And how are you, fishy?
I am very well. I came here to speak with you.
I mean, obviously you know who I am, obviously.
Yes.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
You
Yes.
are. Oh, what's your? I look to Darius. What's your name again?
Darius is just
Pauses.
staring, like, in almost awe.
Which is the appropriate reaction, might I add.
Darius,
Isn't this better? Isn't
Darius,
this your natural state?
Darius, you'll notice a small dragon-like, like a tiny dragonborn, like 2 foot tall dragonborn, scuttle out from behind Shendar and kind of just slowly approach your mastiff, who just looks at it and then just sneezes into its face, and this little dragon thing runs directly away from it and hides
colour is
back
it?
behind his skirts. Which color is the dog?
Is
Or
it, no, the kobold, is it grey, red, or yellow?
have you it's the grayscaled one. It's 2 feet.
2 feet, get back there. It might have diseases, the savage thing. Sorry, white, red, or grey, yes.
Yes, the
I
two
just,
2 feet wipes some dog snot off of his forehead and just eats it.
Not in front of the mammals. I can't do anything with you. Chauncey.
Chauncey approaches.
Chauncey is,
a white scaled.
Chauncey is a little butler. He is wearing a tuxedo. He's wearing the
He's wearing
approximation of tuxedo.
He's wearing a tiny black and white robe.
Go clean off your cousin.
And he scuttles off and starts polishing this other kobold.
What a fascinating species.
Oh, ever so loyal, don't you know? Oh, they've been with me for quite a long time. Yes?
I turned to Finbar and sort of quietly whisper to him, I didn't know pets could have pets.
I raise an eyebrow.
There's no joke or sarcasm. It's an entirely straight faced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm glad to have you on my great journey. I'm sure we'll have many adventures together as you help me to fulfill my destiny, my grand and great destiny.
And what would that destiny be? I myself am very, very fond of hunting destinies and writing of them and singing great tales of them.
What? I thought... you must not have heard of... Of course, warm-bloodeds wouldn't. I'm the voice of heaven.
Ah, of course.
You know, Anaximander, the storm dragon,
You would have all heard of an
the widening gyre, the unbegotten source,
Rings
the
a bell.
dreamer of the skies.
You would know that Anaximander is the storm dragon, god of volatile weather such as storms, etc. He's known to appear as a blue dragon, and you'd know that a long time ago there was a war between the followers of Placius, the god of peace, calm, etc., and Anaximander, and Anaximander's followers got fucked.
But that's going to change.
Okay.
Anaximander's coming back, and I'm going to call him back into the world.
Excellent. I intend to be
Yes.
there when you do so.
That's the voice of heaven. And you shall be there. Yes. Fantastic. Oh, it shall be a grand adventure. A grand adventure.
Okay. And fade to black.
Thank you for following Drist Fury. Perfect timing on that fade to black there.
So, you guys may have spoken here and there for a little more during the journey, but you've all made your acquaintances. So, cut to a week after landing. Well, first of all, cut to as you're about to land. So, I imagine you guys are all up on deck as you are you approach. It's bitterly cold. Like it's probably like
No.
It's probably like 4 or
No.
5 degrees Celsius. It's about
Firebolt.
It's about 8. It's about 8 p.m.
I have Firebolt as a cantrip. It stops being cold.
The boat sinks.
I was going to say we all plunge to our deaths.
And you guys haven't seen Magister Salinar before, but you see a man who you can only assume to be Magister Salinar because he's the only other Dragonborn that is on this ship that you know of. Would know that he is a Dragonborn, and he's a tall, very tall green Dragonborn, clad in a long purple robe.
Oh, sorry. Delinear. Shandar is bronze.
He's flanked by guards on all sides, clad in fine chainmail with purple shields, and he stands up on the prow of the ship and he looks towards the land. It's pretty much just bare ice, and he utters some words in Primordial, and I've got to refresh roll 20 because Shendar's character sheet is stuck in the middle of my screen. Yeah, he utters. It's my bad. And he utters a few words in a language that. Do any of you speak Primordial?
No, Common, Draconic, and Elven.
Cool. He utters it in a language that none of you understand, and before your very eyes, kind of out of the ice, the ice kind of splits and starts cracking as if there was an earthquake going on, and from it, something appears, and out of the ocean in front of it. It's appearing in the map. Tell me when you can see it.
It might be zoomed in a bit closer to see it. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Oh, there it is. It's down there.
And yeah, to your amazement, none of you would have seen magic like this happen before. This is some next level shit. Out of the earth pulls an entire it's on like a cobblestone platform almost, and it just gets ripped out. You see that array of buildings. Obviously, they don't have massive white writing on them. It's just so that we've got a reference of what things are.
I could have done that. No big deal.
And yeah, that appears before you, and Magister Salinar immediately retreats below deck. And the ships come into port, and over the next week, it's pretty much a hustle and bustle of getting things ready, getting the stores off the boat. The guards are getting to work. The guards are actually very, very kind of strict. There's always, anywhere you go in this little array of buildings, you'll always see a couple of guards. One guy got caught trying to nick something off of one of the ships. You don't really know what, but rumors going around that he's disappeared. Like no one has seen him since. They just saw him go away with the guards at one point. Couple of characters. Actually, no, we'll do that in a minute. So it's been about a week now, and you've been here. You would be staying in the bunkhouse, which is essentially a long hut, and it's got bunk bed upon bunk bed upon bunk bed. No one gets a specific bed. You just come in if you're tired, you sleep, and then you go. It's quite smelly in there. It's pretty crap. What do you guys spend the week doing, Darius?
Have the supplies that I brought with me arrived?
Yes, they were on the ship.
Cool.
On the
In
Intrepid.
which case, I would, I would have them sort of.
Yeah.
I presume, someone will actually take them off the ship.
No.
Right. So they're just going to leave it on the ship. No one will offload anything.
No. People are
which case-
offloading. People are offloading their own possessions.
Okay. Right. Okay.
There's no one there to do your shit for you.
Don't you
Okay.
have someone to do that for you?
I shake my head and say, some of us realize we have to earn what we want as opposed to just listening to voices.
You
in our
didn't
head.
bring any
And-
fine maidens with you for such a task.
Well, I was going to offer you the services of my church, but if you don't want it.
Sounds like
It's
a
all the
fine
same,
idea
I'll-
to me.
Darius is trying to be sort of polite about it, but it's like, thank you very much, but I'm sure the gods will provide. And yes, I start unloading everything by hand. I imagine it's going to take a very long time, at least a couple of days.
You could get it done maybe on your own. You could get it done in 2 days if you were working constantly.
Yeah, Darius is a very driven man.
Yeah.
Once he sets his mind to
So-
something, it's-
Where would you want to start? Where would you take all these resources to?
Well, I would first. I imagine it would actually take 3 days because the first day I would have to go out and scout out to see. I want somewhere sort of on the outskirts of town. Preferably, I want to see are there any land masses that are visible in the distance?
What do you mean by land masses? You're on a big fuck off island, mate.
Yeah. So is there I don't want to go straight towards
It's
a marsh or
it's
something
ice.
like that.
It's ice everywhere you can see.
Oh, okay, right.
Ice and
Well,
snow.
Are there mountains in a distance
There
or any
is
plains?
completely open and flat as far as the eye can see.
Wow. That's kind of shit.
Well, this is flatter than expected.
Yes.
Dear God, we've landed in Holland.
It's just a windmill.
Some clogs.
A man smoking a joint. All the Dutch things.
In which case, if there is literally no land masses in any way, I probably would ask if it was okay with Magister Salinar to keep my supplies on the ship.
Keep your supplies on the ship. You wouldn't speak to him about that. There's a man who you've seen. He's an elf, same as you, although he's notably
Okay.
a high elf. He's very suave looking.
Yeah.
He's basically, imagine a combination between Captain Jack Sparrow and one of the Thalmor from Skyrim. He's wearing long black and gold robes. Sorry, not black and gold. He's wearing cyan, light blue robes, but he's got a tricorner hat on, and he has an eye patch. He's
Okay.
He's around the ship a lot. You'd identify him as the captain of the ship.
Fantastic.
You'd probably be able to find out his name is Mage Captain Marcosis. He's
Captain
the
Marcosis.
Mage Captain Marcosis. That's his title.
Okay. I seek him out. Where do I seek him out? Is he by the ship? Or?
He could be by the ship if you wanted to be by the ship.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's sort of by the ship. Maybe talking to some sailors.
You
And,
guys would all notice that the ship you came on is gone. This is just the supply ship. This is remaining. The other
Okay,
ships just
cool.
sailed away back home. You would assume.
So it's Mage Captain
Marcosis. Markosis.
Marcosis, brilliant. I head over and say, Mage Captain Marcosis, may I speak with you?
Yes, make it quick.
It's about the supplies that you have so kindly transported here.
Yes, what about them?
Is there a pressing issue to get them offloaded from the ship?
He pulls out some papers, rummages through them. Yes, there is. I have pressing business to attend to with this vessel, and, well, things don't look rosy for this ship. You might want to get them off.
I look somewhat puzzled and say, and I hope you and your ship don't find yourselves in any danger.
Well, we've, Magister Salinar sent me to, His voice kind of goes up and down at random. It's very confusing. Actually, roll me a medicine check.
Okay.
He's come down with elfitis.
Insane.
The man's batshit crazy.
It's your medical assessment. 20.
12.
Have I determined that he is an elf?
It's a 12. You'd know that this is the kind of... You can't remember what it is, but this is the effect of
There we go.
some sort of drug, you think, maybe? Yes,
Okay.
This ship is... It's... I've been sent by Magister Salinar to have a scout along the coast to the west.
I nod and say, I'll.
Actually, he cuts you off. Actually,
Oh.
I don't suppose you're in the market for hiring, are you?
My ears prick up slightly, and I say, well, that depends entirely on the pay. But of course, if it keeps you out of harm's way.
Well, yes, I've been sent to Magister Salinar. He needs me to check along the coast. Only this, we don't really have anyone to crew the ship. He rifles through more papers. Where is it? I could go so far as to pay you 15 gold per day.
I thought for some reason you were going to say 15 gold potatoes.
Did you say 15 or 50?
15.
I was going to say, shit, a brick, 50 gold a day. Cool. I nod and say, maybe I can arrange a deal for you if you need to leave immediately.
No, not at all. Not for the next, maybe 6 days.
So, okay. Well, I wonder, do you have many artisans or craftsmen on board?
No. Simply put.
Well, how about your crew?
I don't remember having a crew. He looks under his armpit.
And how did
Okay.
you get...
I nod and say, smile.
He smiles back
sounds,
a little bit too
perfect.
enthusiastically, and then stops and frowns.
So, 15 gold a day.
Yes. One little old
Okay.
me coming into harm's way, and he kind of gives a sly grin.
Can I roll a perception, or actually, what would it be? No, it'd be insight, wouldn't it?
Insight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
insight would be
basically
sense
see. Yeah, to see if I feel as if like he's luring me into no good,
Yeah, roll an insight.
like deliberately. 15.
He's not trying to lure you. What, you wanted to know if he's trying to get you to do anything evil?
No. I'm basically saying, is he luring me out to?
He's after your
to
sweet
rape alley?
gangrels.
To what?
To
That's the
rape
least-
alley.
Oof, you don't
Is
wanna...
that where he's trying to settle?
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't.
They
Seem
left
to,
that part out of the Harry Potter
he
book.
doesn't seem to have any negative intent. And can we cut
Okay,
jokes of
right,
that
as
nature
long
on
as-
stream, please, boys? Continuing.
Sorry, guys. I do apologise.
Continuing. Yes, you can't tell.
Yeah,
You don't
in
think
which
he's got
case
any evil intent. You can't really tell. But yeah, to the best of your knowledge, he's not
in
trying to get
which
you to do
case-
anything bad.
Yes, in which case I nod and say I'm well, count me aboard. I'll have my supplies offloaded at once, and I begin to. I'm gonna quickly go and find whoever's in charge of the stores to see if I have permission to store some stuff there.
Everyone has permission to store their stuff there. All you have to do is sign in what you're bringing in.
Cool, brilliant. I sign in and then I hand load everything off.
Finbar,
without
what are
asking
you doing?
anyone for help.
Finbar, what are you doing the first week?
There's not a tavern round, is there?
There is, if you zoom your map out.
Oh, I need to zoom out. Oh, yes, slightly upwards. There we go. Yeah,
Rip Darius's dream.
I go into the
No
tavern.
monopoly for you.
You go into the tavern.
Yes. I
Cool.
want to meet the patron.
It's a very pristine place, and there's a very squat dwarf behind the bar. The bars, other than that, is empty.
Hello, dwarf.
He slams a hand on the table.
Just so. My name is Finbar. You might have heard of me.
He slams a hand on the table 3 times.
I kind of raise an eyebrow. Ah, a mute.
He sticks out his stump of a tongue and claps his hands together.
That's right. Yes, I make music. I am a bard of some renown. You've no doubt heard of me and wish to sing along, but perhaps you'd like to clap along to one of my latest songs later.
He looks visibly excited. He's beaming, his eyes widen, and he claps his hands lots.
I say, well, for a small fee, my friend, I will happily play at your tavern every night and get as many patrons in as possible. I have, in fact, something of a reputation at getting the finest maidens and finest dwarf women into taverns.
He like does the world's most cartoonish eyebrow waggle at you,
I do it back.
and he points at your loot.
Oh, what this? Ah, I will perform a small piece for you. And I start playing a little tune on the lute, a little diddle.
How does that go, Will?
I don't know. I won't sing. I just play a little instrumental piece.
Cool. Bang 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 bang.
It's a
Free
banjo
bird.
now.
Roll me a performance.
Okay. Let's do that again. Finbar. Performance. That is a 15 again.
It's an 8.
Is it? Oh, I need to scroll down. It's an 8. Alas.
I will allow you to spend your favor because this guy would have. I will allow you to utilize your favor now, to bump that up to the 21.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
because he obviously. So yeah, he is like he dances along.
I go wrong for a moment and then start retuning my lute.
He's like dancing. He's doing like a little jig to it, and he hands you 1 gold piece.
Make
you.
the dwarf twerk.
Oh,
Does
I
not.
Oh.
He does not yet. That's nat 20 territory. So yeah, mark that you've got that favor used.
will. I will.
So yeah, just delete it off. Cool. So yeah. So and Shendar, what do you spend your first week doing?
Well, obviously there's offloading the timber,
Yeah.
the linen and the ironing rod.
Yep.
I mean, holy symbol. And we've
I
probably
assume
gone
yeah,
to a,
kobolds are helping you with this.
of course, probably should take a mage hand. Well, you say helping, I say most of the heavy lifting. No, I mean all of the heavy lifting. And because they probably can't carry it very far, I'm seeing this site as being sort of, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing on Roll20, but this patch just off to the, let's assume cardinal direction, to the west of the stores, is where he's sort of setting up this square construction area for
Okay.
for their temple to go.
Bear with me a second.
At the moment, it is probably going to be little more than just a few poles in the ground, and just like coming soon, the temple of Anaximander.
Sweet.
Special offers on salvation and Jesus.
Is like there good for you?
Uh,
That rough area?
I'm not seeing anything at all.
It should
Oh, there we
be.
go. Oh, yeah, now I see it. Yeah, that's probably actually slightly better than the way I was imagining it.
Of course it is. I thought of it.
Of course. All hail the GM. Yeah, so at this point, it's probably going to be very rough because small crew and unskilled labor. So we probably just sort of put down like corner posts, and we probably erected. I imagine the erected the lightning pole, which is just going to be. Then the temple is built around it. So there is this huge copper rod that goes up to about. I think we said it was about 50 feet in the air.
Yeah. Cool. Is that what
yeah.
you're working on all week?
Well, it's what the kobolds are working on
Yeah.
all week. Shandar himself is probably going to be also around the tavern giving impassioned speeches, trying to drum up some worshippers.
Ooh, roll me a persuade at disadvantage.
Disadvantage because we're a heathen sect and so on. So let's see. Double check my skill in persuade, which I think is +5.
Yep, if you just have you used the roll to
Yeah, it is.
character sheets before, there's a button next to the skill you can just press.
Yeah, the last time I used Roll20, it was for Legend of Five Rings, which works completely differently. So let's see. First roll.
It would have been a nat 20, but it's a 13 because disadvantage. No one really like you get your point across, and some people people are talking about it, like, oh, this is religion, and oh wait, aren't they like illegal back home? But I don't know. Let's listen to what this guy has to say a little bit. Some of them are like that, but most people were just like, sorry if that murdered anyone's ears. Yeah, most people don't pay a huge amount of attention, but some of them do. Some of them kind of pay a little bit of heed to you. Yeah.
I have this literature, pamphlets.
So, Darius, are you ever in the tavern?
Darius, I will only go to the tavern after he's like finished unloading. So after however long that's taken.
Cool. It'll be like 2 days. So you guys are in the tavern. Things you would have found out during your time. There's a lot of kind of buzz going around. Rumor has circulated, maybe partially through Darius, but through the rest of the town as well, like the hamlet, I guess, that Major Captain Marcosis needs help with his exploration to the west. There's also Guard Captain Yorick about 2 days ago. So it was the 17th of January when you arrived. Sorry, it's the 17th of January, a week after you've arrived. So you arrived on the 10th. It's the 17th now. So you guys have heard that Guard Captain Yorick is very anxious because he sent out 2 of his guards to the north because they found basically a massive massive great forest, a really dense forest, and the guards haven't come back. And actually, if you're out at night, a couple of people have said they've heard like screams and cries and laughter coming from that direction. Last night, you also heard a lot of shouting, and Guard Captain Yorick has also said that a few bits of the supplies have gone missing. Some things have gone missing out of the storehouse, and no one knows where they've gone. Like, the place has been turned inside out, and no one knows where they've gone. They won't say what the supplies are, but they're missing.
In which case, I will go and inspect my supplies.
Okay, roll me a perception.
I'll also head
13.
to the stores to see what's amiss.
Josh, you notice that. So you guys, if you guys are all going there, I'll say you all arrive at vaguely the same time. Maybe you hear this rumor in the tavern, and you will kind of at the same time decide to go. You go past. There's like 4 guards on the door. There's a contingent of 10 guards in this town, and 4 of them are guarding the stores now.
Wow.
There's always 4 on the stores. Josh, you notice that. Well, sorry, Darius notices that he thinks some of the alcohol that he brought with him is missing.
Are we talking like a lot, or
At least
just
at least a keg, but you can't tell. Like, it was just in like a big crate, and you can't remember what was where, and you kind of you kind of bought it pretty quickly, so it could be a couple of bottles of wine. Something's amiss. Like, it was pretty tightly packed, and it kind of rattles a bit.
Yeah,
when you put the crate
there's
out.
gaps. Yeah, cool.
Not hugely, but like a little bit.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, there wasn't. I would tessellate everything very well.
Shendar,
I love
did you get your
Hello.
cart? Did you get your cart off of the?
Oh, yes,
the
I
wagon?
would have.
Yeah,
wagon,
we'll
yes.
say that it's in your like temple area building site.
Yeah.
Incidentally,
Oh, yes, got the horse.
Incidentally, each square is 5 feet. So one square of movement equals 5 feet.
Okay.
So what else do you guys check?
Right.
Feedstock for the horses.
That's all still there.
Lumber for construction.
That's all still there. I'll cut to the
Okay.
chase. It's all still there.
Right.
Well, it seems everything is in order.
I shake my head and say, speak for yourself. I think someone's been raiding from my supplies.
Really? What?
Some of my supplies of liquor for my tavern have been raided.
Ah, no doubt there's a dwarf in the area.
I nod and then suddenly say, "Isn't a tavern owner a dwarf?"
I kind
The
of
mute fellow.
I squint my eyes. Yes, and he can't speak. Therefore, if we turned him in, no.
No.
I look somewhat like it was just a suggestion, dude. But I nod and say, "Oh, okay. Saying, well,
Actually,
I'm
Shandal's probably going
go
to get
speak to the
really,
guards.
really pissed at that. He's going to quite take offense at the notion of someone handing you in for a crime you didn't commit. You're no better than those Plastians back on the mainland. Go somewhere else. I can't look at you anymore.
I
I
say
look
nothing.
at
I
him
care
and say,
not.
I look at him and sort of say that, well, there's two of us and you're the one offended. Maybe you should leave.
What
Like,
nonsense!
You guys hear a
It's
bell.
cold outside.
You guys hear a bell outside.
I
Sounds like a bell
immediately
outside.
head out.
Is it ringing
I
the hour?
immediately head outside.
It's not like a church bell. Those don't exist in this universe.
Is it?
Maybe it's
Oh,
a
that-
really loud pocket watch. You don't know.
I was going to say, is it someone going around ringing the hour?
It's no. It's no. It's
No?
Town
no.
crier. Town crier. Yeah. Anyway, I am going outside.
Yeah, I head out with you.
Are the guards still on the door? Or?
Yeah, they're still there. If you trace, do you go as well, Shendar?
Fine.
It's up to you.
Racist.
Yeah. So yeah, you So if you head out and follow the sound of the bell, you go to a town square.
Yes.
So it's the area kind of to the left of Magister Salinar's, between the bunkhouse and
Yeah,
Magister Salinar's.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's kind of a crowd of about 20 people, and they're gathered around this man, he's wearing pretty much common garb. He's ringing a bell and he's shouting, "Hear ye, hear ye! By the order of Guard Captain Yorick, a bounty of 50 gold pieces to the men or man or woman or other who can
Very
discover
broad
the
terms.
location of these missing supplies. Any man found returning them will be given 300 gold pieces. Such is the will and generosity of Magister Salinar. Hear ye, hear ye." Ding, 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 ding.
Where are the? Where would the guard
Ding,
captain
ding, ding,
be
ding, ding, ding.
stationed?
Someone like that would buy a lot of pamphlets.
You can't think over the sound of bell. You know that the guard barracks is in Magister Salinar's. It's like
Cool.
it's like the two-story building. So
Yeah, cool.
And the people
heading
shall
straight
think me a hero. And I head off as well.
cool. What? So you got you? So you two are
I
heading.
am at the door.
Cool.
I'd probably go with him.
Yeah, you can. The one of the guards stops you and says, "What's your business?"
My good man. Oh, my brave guarding fellow. Oh, you salt of the earth fellow. We are here to see your commanding officer, and
he
wouldn't
looks
you
up.
be such a good source to let us in?
What's it about?
Why, it is about the bounty that has most recently been posted.
Oh, why didn't you
Just
say
over
it?
there.
Why don't you say it, you mad fucker? And he opens the door. And you guys are free to enter.
I give him an apologetic look as if just to say, what the fuck?
The preferred term is ecstatic visionary.
Yep, go on.
Doop.
You guys
Right,
Inside.
I'm inside.
We enter.
Cool. Finbar, you're with them. Cool. Yeah, you'd see immediately to your left. There's you're in quite a really regal. It's not regal. It's like, imagine like your traditional log cabin, but like 2-story and with much more fancy decorations. And yeah, there's like fabric sofas and stuff. But yeah, immediately to your left, there's a fine crafted oak door, and it's got Guard Captain Yorick written on the door on like a bronze plaque.
I stride over and I rap firmly on the door.
He says, "Come in."
I enter.
Cool. You see a black-haired, long-bearded, stout dwarf sitting there. Are any of you guys from Gerst?
No.
No.
Okay.
Don't care.
You wouldn't. Okay, fair play. You may have heard like people. The general vibe towards Guard Captain Yorick around town. From what you can see, maybe Finbar, you would have got this from like maybe someone was like, "Sing us a song about Guard Captain Yorick." But he's
I straight
fairly-
up refused and sang a
he's-
song about myself.
He's he's a respected man about town. He says, "What can I do you for?"
I whisper to Darius, "Looks like we know where that ale went."
I completely ignore that comment and say, I hear you've recently placed a bounty.
Oh yes, you'll hear about the supplies.
I nod and say
Yes.
some of my supplies were those to have gone missing.
Oh, good. Well, at least we know it wasn't you. He says, "Oh, was it?" And then he kind of squints at you and then shakes his head.
I look at Darius and squint at him. Could be him.
Darius
could even.
doesn't.
Yeah. He says,
I say, well, we've heard commotion to the north during the night, and rumor has circulated that one of your patrols found a forest that they didn't return from.
Yep. That's also true.
Could it be possible they took the supplies and never returned?
I don't know. They were good sorts. I don't think they'd do it, although you never know with these people.
Mayhaps they encountered some wild animal out in the depths, some grotesque monstrosity which we can grapple. That would
I could
be
name
a
this
great
beast.
deed.
Well, either way, if you can, well, let me put it this way: if you can bring back some guards for me, the 2 that are missing, I'll give you 20 gold piece for each of them that comes back alive. 10 if the worst has happened. If you can get the supplies back, 300 gold pieces. That's 100 each. Can't say fairer than that. And I'll give
What's missing?
We don't know yet. We're still searching through, but mostly
and when
food.
Did you notice it was missing?
One of the boys reported it a couple of days ago.
If he doesn't know what it was, how
waited
did he
this
know
long?
that it was missing?
I've been up to my beard in it, mate. It's not a huge amount, but we need it back.
I nod and say, there'll be no way of tracking them. So, have you found any other habitable land masses, habitable areas on your scouting missions?
Marcosis hasn't set sail yet, and well, no, not really. We've had a forest. Apart from that, it's all just fucking snow. He points out the window.
Yeah.
At the snow. It's literally like covered in snow.
I look out.
I
Yes.
I look out and suddenly realise there is snow outside.
Who'd like to roll for the weather?
Roll for the weather.
Yep.
I will roll for the weather then.
Roll me a d10.
Oh, sorry, Josh. You can do it if you want me, friend.
No. You go ahead.
Someone roll a d10.
Got to be polite. I rolled a 10.
It is sunny and clear. It's actually mostly water.
Look at all
window.
the snow.
Look at
I go and warm myself on a rock.
It's still like an icy landmass, but the sun is out, so it's not like bitterly cold.
Yes, well, even so, this sounds like a fine adventure for Shendar and his friends.
Well, if you guys can help out the town in any way, we'll be much obliged to you. If you can't, we'll at least try. You seem like, well, hard enough sorts.
Yes.
I nod.
I am a very hard sort.
I am so repulsed by that last comment, I leave without actually asking the question I was going to ask.
Cool. You 2 are left in the room. What do you do?
Well, I was just saying that I could cast spells. I don't understand what the matter was.
Oh, you managed to Sonard get on really well. He loves the wizarding sorts. Although, he probably wouldn't have time for you right now. Anything else I can do for you? Any questions? Or are you going to go and get on with it?
What would you tell me about this Salam fellow, the other Dragonborn? Is he a reasonable sort?
Look, I'm not in the business of talking about my employer. He pays me. I stop criminals. Simple as.
I nod my head appreciatively.
He's just, you wouldn't say he's the sort to light pyres, burn books, that sort of thing?
Not that I know of. Have you got any useful questions?
I wouldn't rather you to a question. This Marcosis fella, he seemed a little scatterbrained, didn't he?
Yep, he's like that, old Marky, but he's a good man to have on your side in a fight, at least.
Yes, no, nothing to watch out for on that regard. No sudden bouts of madness. No,
You ask an awful lot of questions, you do, mister.
you asked me to ask questions.
I thought you were going to ask things like, I don't know, how long have things been missing? What's gone missing? The useful questions that the other
We
one
asked you
asked.
what one went missing. You said you didn't know.
Yeah, he asked the useful questions. You're just yammering at me. Fuck off.
Hmm.
And he shows you the door.
May the storm have mercy on you.
Yep, yep.
I stay behind.
Bloody hell, you're not done yet.
A few more moments, my good man. I apologize for his nature. He is a strange sort. But,
Yeah. He sighs, sits back in his chair, and pulls like a flask out from a drawer in his desk. And goes, go on then. What is it?
I quickly pull out my own flask of something and say, might be a little nicer, a bit warmer. And hand it to him. Some very strong kind of alcohol.
Cool.
Liquor.
He
And,
he says, "Oh, thank you, mate," and he takes it and takes a few swigs and hands it back.
Says, well, you may have heard of me, as I have heard of you. In fact, I have sang a few tales of your heroics in the past.
Have you actually?
Quite possibly, actually. Yeah.
Cool.
I do fan favorites. Crowd pleasers.
Fanfic. Cool. Right.
I am Finbar.
Yorick. Guard Captain Yorick to you.
I say, you, just one last thing. Between friends, you may wish to keep an eye on that Dragonborn one. He seems unstable.
Roll a persuade for me.
Oh well. Let's roll
And so the
that.
racism begins.
This is how it'll end. I rolled a 13.
I'll keep an eye on it, mate. Honestly, you've got bigger things to deal with right now. Was that
I'm
all?
sure. As do I. I will be away. And I leave.
Cool. What do you guys do? There's plot hooks all over the place. Just take the bait, boys. Or do something
I
else.
go back to the mainland and leave the adventure. No.
Nope. The ship explodes and you're washed up on the shores.
Darius, are you waiting outside or are you off? Yeah, muted though.
Josh?
You've lost
I
your
would like
tongue.
to talk to one of the guards.
Which one?
I just want to say, like, and to anyone, I want to say, did any of the guards make it back from your expedition to the forest? Someone must have brought news of it.
No, well, no, we know that they went out there because one of us saw the forest, but they were sent to skirt along the edge of it. Two of them, Stan and what was everyone's fucking name? Michael, Stan and Michael. But
Who was the guard who spotted it?
it was Stan.
Right. Well, could you give me a sort of would we have like? I don't really suppose we would have a map, would we?
No,
So right, in
no,
which
not at this moment in time.
in which case, like, would I be able to rustle up some kind of like parchment, paper, anything that I could, like a bit of bark, whatever I could, to literally draw like a rough estimation of the town.
I think at this point,
Stuck
I
in
walks past
snow.
arms full of pamphlets going, but what would I do with all this parchment? Which I have in my bag.
Yeah, you could definitely have scribbled down like a map of where the town is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be rudimentary looking, but I've done this sort of stuff before, being a ranger, and I sort of say, could you give me a bearing that you went on?
He just points directly inland, and actually, I've got a thing for you.
For me?
Oh, God.
Be worried.
He pulls out this.
When he says, I've got a thing for you in that tone of voice.
He pulls out this.
Yeah, I'm worried.
He pulls out this sketch. It's probably a lot rougher than it looks here, but he hands you this. It will change, and you'll probably have to zoom in considerably on the bit with actual.
I'm seeing a white void. Oh.
Search around.
There
Yeah,
it is.
no, I've got to find
There you
around
go,
the white
James.
void. For the hello.
He
Oh,
gives you
fantastic.
He's basically.
Okay.
He's got. He said, we've all been trying to. Well, we're not cartographers, but we've been trying our best. And he gives you his copy.
No, you're clearly not a cartographer.
James, would I be able to essentially sort of touch this up so it looks like a little bit better? Like
Not right now, but you can.
no. But like,
Penmanship is
do I
terrible.
feel confident? Do I feel confident enough as someone who has the background of like this sort of stuff to be able to?
Absolutely. You've seen that before.
They did it in 4B. Terrible.
Yeah, cool. I say, I put a firm hand on this man's shoulder in a sort of like I really appreciate that sort of way, and I say, I promise you that when I return with hopefully the supplies and news of your men, I will have a sort of a more extensive map for you. You men should be armed with the knowledge as well as the weapons.
Yeah, well, any information you can bring back, I'm sure we'll be able to sort you out with something. Is there anything else, mate? I've got things to do.
I hold up my hands and say, nope. I realise you must be incredibly busy, and I make my way back to the bunkhouse, gather my stuff.
Cool. What are the other two doing? Shendar.
Let's see. Shendar has headed out, quietly cursing at himself that he missed the opportunity to put a leaflet on the guard captain's desk. What can an Axamander do for you? Yeah, he'll try and... He's probably too arrogant to ask for help, so he probably is just going to sort of go, fuck it, north. And just sort of have a look around the northern side of town and any evidence of trails.
FYI, each square is 10 kilometers.
On this huge map.
On this huge map.
Right.
So it's bound.
Yeah, I'm not talking like full blown like trek the wastes for a matter of weeks, but like the northern side of town is probably where they went if they were dragged out or something. So just head up to the north side of the town.
Yep.
On a small map
You want to look for tracks
and have a look around. Yeah.
Cool.
So that'd be
roll a survival.
Call up my character sheet for a second. That's a skill that I have.
Oh, and will mark inspiration for Finbar.
TY.
And actually,
so
if you mark inspiration as well, Shendar.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry, Josh.
Literally haven't done anything wrong.
I know you haven't done anything wrong. It's just, yeah, I'll explain after the session if you really want to know. You can't find any tracks of any sort going north. Like it was too long ago, and there's been little bits of snow, and it's just frozen over.
As
and
if they were flying.
You could deduce that, but you would be insane.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, what are you doing, Finbar?
I am going to ask around in my favourite haunt, where I assume by like a week of me playing now, I fairly know a few of the patrons in the tavern.
Oh yeah, you're probably quite well known around town. Roll me a performance.
Okay. It's my constant skill.
You keep performing, I'll keep making you roll performance.
I shall. I rolled a 10.
Cool. Yeah, mark 1 fame. Actually, no, don't mark any fame. Excuse me, I was using the wrong system of fame. There was fame 0.1. This is fame 0.2. It's in pre-alpha. Yeah, don't mark any fame. You've been getting your 1 gold piece a day, so you'll have made 7 gold pieces well, 6 because it's the 7th day now.
Huzzah.
In total. But you are, you are not in a like you're not like well known. They're just like, oh, that's that guy that plays at the tavern at the moment.
I head over to the barkeep, say, have you seen any of the guards leave recently?
The tavern keep.
Yeah.
He takes both his hands and claps them twice on the bar. Roll me an insight.
So either means yes or
Okay,
no.
I'll sort of see how this is going.
This
I
is
think
to
the number
represent
of-
how well you've been learning.
Insight is really low. I rolled 11.
You know that this means yes or no.
Okay.
Out of character, do you think the number of hands matters? Like if he hits one hand twice, and then
I'm
if it's two
basing
hands
it. I'm
twice.
basing it very, very loosely on Makaton.
I know what that is.
Oh, it's a type of sign language for people with learning disabilities.
So I kind of is a thumbs
should
up
have known
like
that.
a symbol? I assume it is like a
Sorry?
is a thumbs up recognizable in this world as like yes.
No, it's the symbol that I want you to break my thumb immediately, please, sir.
Thank you for following, Hertz. Welcome.
Right, so do you put your thumb up at him? It is recognisable in this world.
I look
Um,
questioningly at him.
He looks closely at your thumb, and just nods slowly.
He looks very closely at your thumb where it's written, "Fuck your mother." Very small. It's like, boom.
Plot twist. I say, good. I wish to find them. Could you point me in their direction if perhaps we went outside the tavern?
So you're asking if he saw any guards like leaving the town?
Yeah.
Cool. He kind of swings his arm around a big circle and then points north.
Okay. I say, thank you, my friend, and pat him on the head.
He kind of, obviously he hasn't got a tongue, but his vocal cords are still there, so he kind of just goes. You can't tell if this is a good or bad sound.
It's like a cat purring.
It's not like a cat.
I take it
Okay,
for
you
that.
take it as a. He gives you a neutral look. He's true neutral.
He gives you a look of the deepest, darkest neutrality.
It burns my soul. I leave the tavern, waving to a few of the bar wenches, and who no doubt titter. Oh dear, we're dropping frames. I feel like we dropped stream.
Is that everything?
Mastiff?
Everything in your inventory on your character sheet, yeah.
Yes.
I'll just
and
look at what that is.
I just want to also say, do I have? Yeah, I have rations. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. In which case, I am going to
Just FYI, because I don't want to have to just dick on you guys. It's fucking cold. Like every night, it's like -5.
I wore myself
Just
with maidens.
Fireballs.
FYI.
Fireballs.
Before
Yeah.
I just want you to be absolutely clear on that, so that if I go right, you get hypothermia, you're not going to be like, no, I didn't know. It's really cold, even when it's sunny. It's not as cold right now, but it's really. Are we getting the idea? It's really cold.
No, you're gonna have to run that by me again. I don't
Okay,
think again.
cool. Well,
You
on the
freeze to
map,
death.
how far is it, and how deep is the snow?
Like it's pretty because it's so cold. The snow is basically frozen solid for the most part.
Yeah, we're dealing with like
Roll
permafrost here.
me a survival, Josh.
Thank you for following Berserker Merc Gaming.
11. I have
Welcome
the
to the
survivability of my internet.
You know that despite the fact the snow's frozen together, you have heard tales of like people just walking around on normal snow and then just sinking through it. But for the most part, to the best, as far as you're concerned, it's fairly solid. You'll be able to just walk on it. Yes, it is -5 Kelvin. Yes, we operate in the British way of doing things.
Yes, the correct way of doing things.
Yes.
Ah. Hello, Rollcasters, by the way. Love your
Yes.
stream and podcast. Big fan.
Cool.
Podcasters.
And the distance is, you said, every
it's a-
square is 10.
Every square is 10 kilometers. So the
So
forest.
that
10
is
kilometers.
probably about. It'd probably be about 8 kilometers.
Yeah, or thereabouts.
Yeah, to like the edge of the forest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
8 kilometers.
Yeah. Cool. In which case, I'm going to find Finbar and actually no, I'm just going to find Finbar.
Hello there. You find me exiting the tavern.
Cool.
No, I am the GM.
Um,
You find him blasting into orbit.
Ah!
Achoo!
Team Rocket's yeah, no, you find him walking out of the tavern.
I must go. My home
yeah.
planet needs me. Do, 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 do.
Yes.
Finbar
Oh,
died
yeah.
on the way back to his home planet.
So, I was wondering if you would like to have an adventure, as you so fondly sing of them.
An
Did
adventure.
someone say
you s-
adventure?
An adventure, you say? Why? That sounds like just the ticket. I
I
have
nod
brought
and
my
say,
book with me, and I have my parchment, and I have news upon me. So let us go.
FYI, Finbar did bring a horse with him.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
in case you'd forgotten, he has a
I
riding horse.
have a horse. I entirely forgot.
I was prompting you so hard to bring a horse. And then
Yes.
you brought one, and it worked.
Cool.
And I say, but first, let me get my trusty mount.
Yeah. So you see the stables
What-
at Manchester
hold
Salamar's?
on.
They're basically open use. Anyone can use it.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It's whatever time of day you want it to be. We'll say it's early morning because otherwise you guys are going to sleep and it's going to waste time. It's
Fantastic.
it's still like a 9 a.m. But the concept of time in that sense doesn't exist. You have morning, afternoon, evening, and night.
Yeah. Okay. So
Early morning.
it's early morning. It's maybe a few hours after sunrise, and is it still sunny weather?
Yes.
Cool. In which case,
as
I'll
it
say,
was a couple of hours ago.
Oh yeah, we're probably in this sort of part
we
of the
live in
world where it's-
England, James. A couple of hours can mean the difference between monsoon season and beautiful summer's
All those
day.
monsoons we have.
Yeah, but this is the sort of part of
Yeah,
the
no,
world where you
yeah,
get
well,
day
it's-
for about
anyway,
3 months.
Moving swiftly on.
Yes.
Yeah. In which case, I say we should be able to make it to the forest edge by midday.
Sounds good to me, where we'll slay a mighty beast, and I will write of our epic journeys of Darius, and, of course, Finbar, and the other one, whose name escapes me, And-
I look quizzically at you when you say the other one.
and of
Yeah,
Reginald,
you mean
my,
Vox?
my trusty mount. Come, let us to him.
To whom?
Reginald, my trusty
Oh,
mount.
right, cool, right. Okay, in which case I head off with you.
Shendar, what are you doing?
I'm going to say that they meet me on the road. I'm in my wagon.
You say there's a road.
Well, I'm on the trail.
Cool.
What trail?
There's no trail. You couldn't find any tracks. Are you heading towards the forest?
Yeah.
How do you know where the forest is?
Because it's the only thing around.
You
Also, I know it's north.
You know it's north. Yes.
You also said that everything else is sort of blasted flat land.
that you
and
can't
then
actually,
a
you can't see.
forest.
You can't see it from the town.
So it must be
Yeah, but
really
he does-
goddamn
he does-
far.
He does know
it's
that-
10 kilometers away on the map, but you cannot see it. It's not a thick fog, but there's a little bit of fog, and the amount of sheen that's coming. Like when you look across a vast plateau of ice,
you cannot see
you can't
bugger
see
all.
you can't see very far because the amount of light that reflects off of the ice just.
Oh, that's
And
true,
it
it's
is
no blind.
incredibly sunny out.
I will science this show so hard.
But
I have
yes,
Wikipedia
he
page
does.
I will
for
magic it.
I have a Wikipedia page for frostbite open and the Wikipedia page for hypothermia. Just be ready. Be so ready,
In-
boys.
Oh,
In,
dear.
in all fairness, Dragon Boy does know that the guards went north. And,
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I know he knows that much. I just wanted. Yeah, I was
Cool.
just confirming that it wasn't under the impression
Cool.
that
In which case,
No, I'm
before
not
we
magic.
head off, I'm going to ask Finbar if he has any weapons.
he's got a sword.
You see a rapier on my hip. It's very decorative. Perhaps it doesn't look like it's been used too much.
Okay.
It's quite showy.
Oh god. I look at him sort of quizzically and say, can you are you any good with that? Gesture towards your rapier.
What this? I place a firm hand upon my rapier hilt. Why, have you not heard the tale of when I defeated the mighty beast, Josh, you got feedback, mate?
Feedback?
Yeah, it's gone now. That was weird. When I defeated the mighty beast, Galgatron.
Sweet.
Noel Galgatron.
Noel Gallaghertron.
It was Noel Gallagher.
I just murdered Noel Gallagher. Something we all feel the need to do every now and
but
again. An 11.
You think he's making this up?
I
Well, I don't want to make your character think something, but he's
Yeah,
giving,
no,
there's a
no,
lot of
like-
telltale signs that he's making this up.
yeah, I sort of peer curiously at him and then say, I may have heard of a tale of someone defeating Galvatron.
Of course you have.
He sounds like a transformer.
Exactly. That's all that's going through my head. Is just Finbar the Bard versus Galvatron. Yeah. So cool. I say, well, as long as you're confident, and I'm sort of. Are we mounted at this point? Are we?
Do you have a
Do you
horse?
have a horse?
Are you mounted?
I'm
Yes.
mounted. Yeah, I have a horse. Reginald.
Cool. I ask if I could possibly ride with you.
I say, you wouldn't be the first to ask that. Hop on.
I smile until you turn away, and then I just and I mutter a silent prayer for my sister, and then I mount up.
Cool. So you guys are heading generally north. Shendar, can you roll me a survival, please? How long ago did you leave when these guys are leaving?
Ooh. So it's early morning now. I probably set out at sort of first light kind of time.
Cool.
So,
It was like just before dawn when the bell was ringing and when that all happened.
Right, yeah.
And so by the time
Survival.
Shendar left, it was like first light. So maybe you're an hour or two ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your survival?
Yeah.
Roll me a D100.
Okay. 100. What percentage dead are you? I'm 22% dead.
Holy shit! Can you roll me a D6, please? God, I'm so sorry. Oh God. Okay.
Killer DM strikes again.
No, right, bear with me, boys. He's rolled a random encounter.
TPK boys.
I am going to create it. So for the purposes of this, because
Giant flying shark, please, Sharknado.
Okay. Roll me a perception, Shendar.
You are dead.
You're an 18.
Roll to notice that you are dead. You failed.
Bear with me a second.
If you
Obviously,
fail
the
this
problem
check.
with random encounters is that I can't have them all pre-prepared. However, I am preparing it right now.
I like the idea of like roll a perception. You are not aware you are dead. Continue.
You see, well, you both see and hear all of a sudden, from the direction that you're coming, you hear a loud cry, and you see, as it kind of swoops in towards you, a creature. It would remind you. Well, what do you think it is? You just see a big winged silhouette to start with.
Dragon.
Galvatron.
Offs.
Okay. So it comes towards you. And so you think it's a dragon? Sorry.
Some form of drake or
Okay.
dragon, obviously.
As it gets
because
closer,
chosen land.
yeah. As you get closer, you see. Don't roll me anything. You see a creature with the wings and forelimbs of an eagle and the hindquarters of a horse, and the head that combines both the features of both animals. Out of character, this is a hippogriff.
Jesus Christ.
And you see it,
Son of Galvatron.
and you see it swooping down towards you. What do? You're sitting on your wagon. Your little kobold friends haven't seen this, not to the best of your knowledge.
The devil Plusius sends a beast to test us.
Okay,
Onwards to the cover of the forest.
so you're not close
And-
enough. You're not close enough to the forest. Like you can't. You still can. You maybe can
Chase sequence.
just about see it. Cool. You're running.
Pretty
Well,
much, yeah.
you're just sparing. You're on the wagon, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's on the
he's on the
wagon,
wagon.
boys.
Right. Roll me an initiative.
Sweet. What to do that in core stats?
Bearing in mind this thing's coming from in front of you from the forest.
Right, so it's coming from the forest. So I thought when you said it was coming from the direction I was coming. I thought you meant
No,
it's coming from behind me,
the direction that you're
where I'm going.
where it's coming from the direction you're going. So it's in the north, you're in the south, and
There
at
we
the
go.
moment you're headed towards each other.
You are converging.
So
You
roll
don't
me an
use a-
initiative.
It's not letting me. Hang on, I have to select myself. Am I on the map?
Just roll me a d20 plus your dex mod
Okay, so that is...
and beat a 20.
That's probably not going to happen.
Combine every horrifying silhouette imaginable. That is a Galgatron.
So 17.
Cool. Incidentally, you can type /roll d20 plus whatever.
I just figured it'd be quicker as a +1 to hit the
Cool.
D20 button.
So the creature is swooping down towards you. What direction do you run in?
Away?
Cool. I'm just going to check its
Back the
movements.
way you came.
Yeah.
Back the way you came. Cool.
Lead it to us.
Mate, you guys are like an hour behind.
Good.
You guys are
On
gonna have-
horse.
Yeah, he's on a wagon. Yeah, you're on a horse.
Oh, is he? Oh, right. I didn't
No,
realize
I
he had a
don't know.
Yeah.
wagon.
He's
Have a wagon.
got a horse-drawn wagon.
right.
Cool. It's coming after you at some speed. What's your movement stat?
Irrelevant because I'm on a wagon.
Cool. I will put your movement stat to whatever it is,
Not sure what that would do.
whatever the walking stat of a riding horse is, which I believe is 30 feet when walk. No, it's like 40 feet. So you'd be moving at 40 feet per turn.
Yeah, I'd say it's that.
Or you can dash for 80, of course. I'm not for anyone in the chat. I'm not using the chase mechanics because they're shit and I hate them. They're just dreadful. Cool.
Skill challenge.
As you turn it, doesn't. Well, you can use skills, but it's not a skill challenge in the sense that how we have it with Will.
Yeah.
As you turn around, this thing is getting much closer, and it's like almost on ground level. It's going.
Truly a menace.
Earphone user.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If it's that close, just double check. I think I will.
The kobolds obviously is it Chauncey, the stammering one?
Chauncey is the silent,
Chauncey,
yeah.
Chauncey's like blubbering. The mute one is just sitting there looking blankly at his own feet. And who's the other one?
2 feet, the sort of the vaguely savage one.
Yeah, he's jumping up and down. He's just jumping up and down over and over again.
Yeah.
This thing's only maybe 50 feet behind you at this point.
50 feet, that puts it over range of colour spray. 50 feet.
50.
50, damn. I think that puts it out of range of most of my abilities and my spells. Because they're mostly like up to 30, but most of them are like 15. So I'm probably going to be using the horse to take a dash action away from it, which you said is 80
Cool.
feet?
Yeah, 80 feet. Cool, so it takes its turn. So you moved 80 feet, it was 50 feet, 130. By the end of its turn, it's 10 feet behind you. Like, this thing is gaining on you, and it's chasing you.
Okay, can I hand the reins to one of the kobolds?
You certainly can.
Yep. I'll do that as, I guess, maybe a free action.
Yep.
And colour spray it in the face.
Cool. Tell me about color spray.
So, colour spray, a dazzling array of flashing coloured lights springs from his hands.
Yeah.
He rolls 60 10s, which is how many hit points of creatures the spell affects. So I'll just roll 60 10. So that's like slash roll 60 10 in the box, right?
Yep.
15. Yeah, that's not great.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a lot of ones.
Okay. And what effect does it have?
Creatures in the 15-foot cone originating from him are blinded until the spell ends. Achoo!
Cool.
Solar flash.
Okay. How long? What's the duration of the spell?
1 round.
Cool. So it spends its round, kind of just running around in circles. It can't see anything.
Huzzah!
Thank you for following.
When it says
Shizupara.
it covers 15 hit points worth of creatures.
It says how many. Yeah, it says how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect.
Bear with me a second.
Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected in ascending order of their current hit points.
Okay, but so if this thing has more than, I can hear myself by the way for one of you. If this thing has more than 15 hit points, it's not affected, is it?
No, it's not going to be effective.
Cool.
It's only a level 1 spell.
It's not affected.
Yeah.
It barrels into the cart. Roll me a 1d4.
3.
Cool. Bear with me. Where is it? Okay. It pretty much eviscerates Jeremy.
No.
Yep.
Rip, boys.
Jeremy, you look behind. Well, you see, like maybe he's just to your foot, and as this thing kind of goes to take a bite at you, as you've just tried to blind it, Jeremy just gets eviscerated as the cart's running along.
Okay.
Roll me a dex saving throw.
Oh god. Dex saving throw.
Meanwhile, me and Darius are just strolling along. I'm recounting tales of lovely
17.
maidens.
Cool. So you keep your footing. It's your turn.
Trying to
I
impress the
am
image
going
of my
to
sister.
lightning its face. I'm going to use my lightning breath ability. I'm going to scream at it in the voice of the heavens. So it, I believe, just double check the wording on this racial ability. But I believe it's just everything in a 15-foot line in front of me has to make a reflex save. Yeah. It's close enough, so it just has to make a
So
reflex
it's
save for half damage.
Difficulty 11. Dexterity save.
It would be its base
I'm
difficulty 13 because it's no, that's spellcasting.
It's difficulty 11. It's in your class information.
Yeah.
Your character sheet. Cool. So it's DC 11 dexterity check.
Yeah, DC 11.
It fails. It takes 2d6 damage.
Sweet. So, 2d6.
It takes 5 damage. Cool. So you spend your action doing that.
Yep.
It's pretty much on you. No matter how fast this cart goes, you're not escaping it because it's a kobold steering it, and you can't really dash that much with a wagon. So it's its turn. It's going to make an attack against you.
AC is, I believe, 14.
Cool. Monster manual.
It has a hit bonus of plus 15.
So it's going to. Oh. It hits you once. What's your max HP, mate?
9.
You take 4 damage.
Oh, just
This thing,
half.
it bites. Like you feel your scales rip on your left bicep.
Can the others have found me now? Because I'm pretty sure I'm screaming.
They're an hour behind you. They literally were an hour behind you when this fight started.
We're
Just
still
want to kill me and
chatting.
get me.
It's
You
your
just
turn.
want to kill me and get me over with.
I'm literally. You rolled this, not me.
Yeah. You made the table.
You just rolled on it.
Yeah, so I can't color spray again. No, hang on, yes I can. But it's not going to do anything because it's close up, so it also probably isn't. It's probably got way too much health.
Remind you that you've got advantage, and you can activate that before or after rolling. Just
inspirations.
Yes.
Yeah. Dear. I can't use mending to heal myself, that's just for healing broken items. So it's on the cart, yeah?
It's not
actually
on the
physically
cart.
on it.
It's like literally flying along behind you, snapping it. It's probably ripped a few bits of the wood out in its attempts to kill you.
Right. Let's see. Well, it seems like its movement speed is more than the dash speed of the wagon.
It'll ruin you.
Yeah,
This thing is.
Fly.
You can tell this thing is going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my best hope is to spend my second slot on another color spray and just hope that the kobolds can get the wagon away fast enough.
Cool. This thing does look injured, obviously, from the hit you gave it. It was
Yeah.
from the 5 damage it took. It's got a bit of a blackened burn on it.
Yeah,
Cool.
so my
what
hope.
are you gonna do?
So, like I say, I'm hoping my action is just blinding and then trying to
So you're gonna
keep it
cast
getting
color
away.
spray again.
Yeah,
Cool.
keep blinding it, keep trying to get away from it. So 60-10. That's better. 43
it's
hit points.
blind for a turn, and the cart speeds away. It spends its turn shaking off its blindness. You're now 40 feet away from it. You're accelerating though.
I am now 120 feet away from it as I use my dash.
No,
You
you're
said the dash speed of the wagon was 80 feet.
You're not in control of the wagon at the moment.
Oh yeah.
The kobold is in control of the wagon, so you are 40 feet away after the kobold's finished controlling it.
Right.
So you have a turn again.
Check the range on magic missile just for a second. This is why I don't usually play spellcasters. Range 100 feet, so that's fine. Yeah, I will magic missile at it as we're going. Used up all my level 1s. I'm down to just cantrips. Range on firebolt. Yeah, I'm sure this is
Pretty high.
Well, that's fireball. I'm just checking for firebolt. 120 feet still, yeah. So cantrip. I should draw from my deck of spell names just because I'm pissed. Despise.
That seems appropriate.
It seems appropriate.
So-
So firebolt. Spell attack, which is a +5, I believe.
Yep.
So of course that's still navigating through. There we go. So D20. Oh, for fuck's sake.
The boys.
So I'm still new to the D20 thing for 5e, so I'm just going. Where's the thing?
So let's roll d20 plus 5.
Yeah, just roll D20 plus 5 in the macro. 19.
Is this versus armor class?
Yeah, it's just a spell attack roll. So yeah.
Sweet, yeah, you hit it.
Okay. On a hit, the target takes D10 fire damage, and anything flammable it is carrying ignites.
Cool.
So, and let's just get rid of that macro because it's getting in the way of the other macro. 7 damage.
Cool. This thing, it's not dead, but it looks very close to being dead.
I'm hoping to convince it that I am not good food.
Oh no. Well, actually, I can't say that. Player character knowledge, of course. Cool. It shakes off the color spray. Actually, it probably incinerate off and it evaporate the last few bits of colorful ink that you've sprayed at it, and it's come back after you. The kobold takes you another 40 feet, and then it's
Faster, Chauncey.
it's just on you. It's your turn. It's like bearing down on you.
I think another firebolt is going to be the best way.
Cool. Let's have it.
So roll D20 plus 5. 20, that hits.
Yep.
And another D10 damage. The spell is called Spark Jolt. Nah, not as good. So another 2 damage.
It's still alive. I'll tell you this now. It's on 1 hit point,
Motherfucker.
and it's gonna roll to a hit.
Galvatron can never truly die.
Does a 24 hit your armor class?
Yes, it does.
What's your current HP?
5.
Rip the boys. Me and Darius find your corpse sometime later.
So yeah, this time it's coming at you with its claws.
5.
You drop to 0 hit points.
I dropped to 0. Yep.
Okay, roll me a death saving throw.
Yeah, so that's is that just a straight D20 or is it Constitution?
Here we go, boys.
This is TPK land, step 1 of 3.
Yeah.
And actually, just first of all, describe your relationship with your mother. No,
Tell me about your mother.
What?
So Jeremy is dead. Chauncey is at the reins, but 2 feet, a half savage kobold. What's your relationship with him like? You said he's foul but loyal. What's the most loyal thing he's ever done for you?
Killed Galvatron.
Impossible.
Obviously not saying he swore to
Oh dear.
kill all hippogriffs
No.
that defended my side.
Like the idea with him is that he is kind of like I say, he's just one step above a savage. So he has probably, someone has said a foul word to him and found himself being bitten or having his shoes filled with excrement because they spoke ill of Prophet.
So he's been literally bitten people.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
he is.
So you can't see
he's
this, but
mindless.
from the GM cloud, as I look down, seeing that you've just been like scratched right across like the face, you've just been decked by this thing, and you're out cold.
Is 2 feet going to kill Steel?
2 feet
Why
runs
you
to you.
KS me?
Runs to you. Is he the mute one? He's not mute, is he? He's like
No, the mute one died.
he just goes, Master, no! And he jumps at Rip Earphone users again. I'm sorry. Kobolds aren't quiet. He takes the dagger off of you and he flings himself off the back of the cart.
Mm.
And he misses completely. He just goes off.
Galgatron.
I will allow you to transfer your inspiration onto this kobold, given
Yes,
the
yes.
entourage. Because
It turns out that he's actually the chosen one, not me.
he hits him, and this hippogriff, he just catches him straight in the eye. This hippogriff's on 1 hit point. It goes down.
Just boom, embedded in his skull. A
And
kobold.
so roll me a death saving throw.
After all that, I die.
And you smote his ruin upon a mountainside as dealing.
5.
So
Oh, no, sorry, that's your thing.
13.
13.
13, sorry, yeah.
I was gonna
It
say.
hadn't scrolled down.
Yes, you
Mark
die.
Mark 1 success. Roll me another death saving throw. Obviously, you're unconscious, so you don't know what's going on outside.
1.
That's Mark 2 failures.
Oh, crit one, boys.
Boys.
Here we go.
This is permadeath land. This is literally.
Can 2
all
feet
on
be my next player character?
This is all or nothing. Oh, mate, I'll let you play 2 feet if you die now. So that's 1 success.
It all comes
And
down.
So after
2
12
successes.
seconds, after a little bit of confusion, Chauncey has realised that that the hippogriff's dead. And will attempt to stabilise you.
Yay.
Oh.
He fails to stabilise you.
Oh.
Roll me a death saving throw. Oh God.
Oh, success.
You're
Well done.
stabilised. Okay, roll me a d4.
It is not my time yet. D4. 3.
Or any time soon.
Cool. You're all unconscious for 3 hours.
Fair
An
enough.
hour later, Finbar and Darius, give me a little snapshot of what you've just been talking about as this sight comes into view. This hilarious sight.
Hey.
And
I'm
Galgatron was a
saying-
fearsome beast. I had to absolutely just hack at it for hours.
Is this what you've been talking about the entire time?
Yeah, literally.
He's just committed.
It just gets more and more embellished each time.
It's just practicing it. Okay, and then you
But
just.
all I'm asking, literally, Finbar, all I want to know is, did you steal my sister's undergarments? That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
I may or may not have
What-
a collection.
What you see up ahead, you see. So it's quite close. You've been so buried in your conversation. And yes, Solar 16. This is so close so soon. That's what happens when you get lost and roll on the random encounter chart badly. That was actually a relatively. There's some harder ones in there at this level. So yeah, you pretty much it's about maybe 20, 30 meters ahead, and you see a wagon, or what used to be a wagon, and what used to be a horse. It's now it's what you see is a pile of carnage. There's a huge amount of wood splinters just exploded everywhere as the hippogriff just flew into the back of the cart as this all went to shit. You see a dead hippogriff in a lot of wood splinters on top of a crushed horse, and you see the hippogriff's got a lot of blood around its beak, and you see in the pile of carnage 2 kobolds like shading and like fanning this Dragonborn he would recognize to be Shendar.
Can I say he now has a cool face scar? Because chicks dig scars, as is science.
We have to wait till you wake up to see that.
I look
Yeah,
at
what
his
do you
face
guys?
to
What
see
do you?
if he has a
What do you?
scar.
Yeah. What do you two do?
And we leave them to die.
It's like, seems our companion met an ill fate upon the road. Alas, he was not as strong as I to defeat what looks like one of Galgatron's breed.
I want to say, sorry, so Galgatron was a hippogriff.
Yes. Definitely.
Because
Definitely a hippogriff.
you've been pretty vague this whole way, and then I suddenly realised and sort of said, you don't think he's still alive, do you?
Galgatron? No, I definitely killed him.
Okay, you're now at his corpse. You approached it.
I kick
Did
him.
we approach it though? Did we?
I give him a little
Would
kick.
would you approach him, or would you go round?
I give him a little kick to see if he moves.
Please, did
roll
you
me-
dismount the horse?
Roll me a medicine.
no, how the horse is just trampling.
roll me a medicine at disadvantage. For this
You
terrible
just kicked him with a horse.
Come, Reginald. You are well versed in science.
In medicine.
You know the science.
13. Reginald is
he's
a...
alive.
Do a science on him.
It's an 8. You're at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, he is
Either
an
way.
8, you're correct.
You can tell he's alive. You can see, like, he's not got a scar because he's got scales, and he doesn't have the same epithelial tissue as a normal human being, so can't develop scar tissue.
Damn, drop
Unlike I, with my handsome scar across one cheek.
He's like, one would assume this is from a man who's never seen a real dragon. I know it's hard to believe.
Technically, he's
But-
not a real dragon.
Well, yeah, but he's the same. Shut up! He is a real dragon now. Haha!
I'm dragonier than
Oh,
you.
fuck.
He's now an Axamar.
You're draggier than
You
me.
can tell that he's alive, and his face is pretty mashed up. There's some scales missing. Like it's like he's got kind of a sideways, wonky moustache of scales missing. And he's out cold. And the kobolds look up to you, and one of them, the savage-looking one, just goes, "Master," and then looks a bit sad, but then goes back to just at you.
What occurred, little dragon thing?
He proceeds to act out. He proceeds to act out like what happened. He's like Chauncey gets up and is pretending to be a
What's it
car,
with
and
miming?
he's standing on his back, and he like this kobold's pretending to cast magic, and then in the end, 2 feet, the savage kobold just then jumps and starts stabbing the dead corpse of the hippogriff, and then bows. do
Okay,
you
so we
make?
know that his class level is Bard. Now that he's leveled up.
Ah,
Right, he's been
you
level
should be
20,
my
so-
companion, my friend. I could teach you much. Can you play the lute?
He folds his arms crossly and like hisses, and then goes and stands. Like you can tell that this kobold is very loyal
Yeah.
to Shendar.
How long? Okay, how long has Shendar's been there for an hour?
He's been
right?
out cold for an hour.
in the freezing snow and stuff. So I imagine there's not doing too well for his
No, it's
body
not.
being frozen.
These kobolds, unfortunately, are not medically trained.
Yeah, so I imagine he's kind of like starting to show signs of frostbite or something on his.
Not frostbite in an hour, but he's colder than he would like to be. You can.
Well, I guess if
easily
you're like
make-
laying in snow, it's not a good move. So
I'm being warmed by the
Ace.
hippogriff.
Is it snowing yet?
It's still not snowing. It's the same day. Remember, it's only been about 4 hours since you rolled for the
Right,
weather. If you want to roll
And
for the
yet it
weather, every
feels like
4
No, I didn't. Why, mate? We've
That's
never
okay,
done
it's
rolling
okay.
for the weather, so I
Don't
don't
you
know.
worry.
So per day, cool.
Basically, yeah. Unless I change my mind.
I say, do we leave him here or continue onwards on our mighty quest?
I look at the ruins of the wagon and sort of say, and the dead horse, and say, what time of day is it, mate?
It's probably about midday by now.
Cool. I say,
Is there like a coin purse on Shendar?
You motherfucker.
How much gold have you got on you?
I think I had 40 left over.
Cool. There's a coin purse with about 40 gold, assuming you brought it with you.
I pick it up and
Probably
say, find his fee and perhaps we return him, see that he lives.
would I be able to
as
deduce?
as you go to take this from him, there's a kobold between you and it.
Do you
And
wish
he's-
to face the
he's-
wrath
I,
of 2 feet
I will
behind
murder this kobold.
He is wielding a dagger.
I like the fact he's like, bruv, I just won
Oh, here we
v1
go.
the hippogriff. You want to come at me?
Yeah, he literally points at the hippogriff.
bro!
He
Let's see
points
my
at the
spells.
hippogriff. He points at you, and he just does the throat-slitting motion.
Alright, I have a spell called
Actually,
Friends.
I'm going to roll. Are you gonna cast friends?
Yeah,
Because otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for him.
Yeah, we're all friends. I have advantage
How long-
on all charisma checks against this little creature.
Cool.
Come at me,
Okay,
Scrab
how
Lord,
do-
I'm ripped.
How does your charisma check work?
I say, stand aside, little one. I merely wish to